Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper and today we are going to look at a mascara. We are going to look at a special mascara, I must say, because we have we have made a lot of other videos here on this channel about eyelash curlers, but this mascara here, and I have it here, it is from Maybelline. It looks like this. It promises that you don't need an eyelash curler because this stuff here will simply curl your eyelashes for you as you are putting on the mascara. So I obviously thought, well, let's test if that is actually true. So I thought, they say on their webpage that you don't need an eyelash curler. So I thought, well, let's test it against an eyelash curler and use the one that I normally use, and that is the one from Shuimura. And I have made a review on that one, you can see up here. So this one here we will test, and we will do this one first, and then we can just see how will it compare to the mascara here. So it is a very black mascara, and they say very black. They also say that it is something that is washable. And I'm thinking, washable, what does that really mean? But let's test that later and see, is it something that you can wash and then it will stay put? Or is it something you can wash and then it will wash off? How do they actually mean what they are saying? Or am I just a little bit pedantic? Well, let's test it later in the program here. So we take this one here, and in order to make it not too easy for the mascara, I will actually go in and heat it up a little bit. And what that does is simply that it will make the curl last a lot longer. And one thing I have recently tried to do is that when I keep the eyelash iron or curler thing on, I will just open it a little bit after a while and then just remove it a little bit further outwards and then turn it even more up. Then I feel that it starts to curl even more. Voila. And then we hold it up to keep it in place for a little while. Like that. So that is when we have curled it with the relative hot iron here. So now we will go in and use the mascara here and see if it holds up, that it's actually true, that it will curve the eyelashes as much as seen on this side here. Voila. When you are seeing it online, you might see that the brush or the wand is actually yellow. So I was a bit like, oh, did I get the wrong one? But then I realized it is because it is full of mascara, and the mascara is black, of course. So yes, so we just take it a little bit in and out here because we don't want a whole lot on. I don't want a lump at the outside. They say that this one is not clumping and stuff like that, and well, let's see if that is also true. So it has this sort of a curve, and they say that it is a curl bounce washable mascara, and that this sort of thing maybe bounces a little bit. Or is it the mascara on your eyelashes afterwards that make the eyelashes bounce a little bit, or do they actually just get rigid as any other mascara makes your eyelashes? Well, let's have a look. And we will be really careful because we don't want a black dot, but I'm sure it will happen. But let's see. I like to kind of like when I put mascara on, obviously you go zigzagging and then up and then blah blah, but then I also like to kind of like hold it in place and then just draw the eyelashes, so closing the eyelids, and then draw the eyelashes through the comb. Like that. And then we go in here. And I think what you need to do is actually that you have to do it relatively slowly and then hold it up while the mascara is actually drying, because that way it will hold the curl a lot better. Did it touch? No, it didn't. But this one here, as it is made as it curves, then you can't really kind of like turn it around like that, because then the curve can like go up and down, and so it must be meant to be just used like this. So can I see a difference? Yes, I can see a difference, and I'm pretty sure you can see a difference as well. I feel that this one here is curved a lot more than these eyelashes are here. And I will say I tried it actually earlier today, and there it felt like they were curving a little bit more than they are doing now. But this is something that should work every time. Yeah. Does it lift and separate? Yes, I think it does. And when I looked up closely, I will say that I find that it doesn't clump, and the eyelashes, the individual eyelashes, they are actually covered individually, so they don't lump together. So for that, I would say that it actually kind of like coats the eyelashes individually, to a certain degree, of course, but better than some other mascaras that can be a lot more, it all kind of like clumps together. So for that, I would say it worked really well. And earlier when I used it, it did curve a lot more than it seems to be doing now. But yeah, it should really work every time. But let's give it another coat and see if that does the trick. Yeah, it did. It actually did. When you have a look at the eyelashes now, I will say that this one curves a bit more, but this one here curves in a more, maybe a little bit more of a soft way, in a way that all the lashes are actually kind of like curving evenly. Whereas oftentimes when you're using an eyelash curler, then it kind of like some of them are squeezed a little bit towards each other, and it can be a little bit of a mess. But I will say after the second coat, it worked a lot better. And maybe you can see it when you look from the side here. So if we just go in and then we have curled these ones here with the iron, and then go in and give it a bit of a mascara and see what will that do. Now the thing is, this mascara here, it doesn't come across as being waterproof, and what that means is that you actually have some sort of watery stuff in it, and that can soften the eyelashes, whereas when you have just curved your eyelashes with an iron, then and you go in with a waterproof mascara, they will not, the waterproof mascara will not go in and relax the eyelashes again, but something that is water soluble might do that. Like that. Do they look the same? This one had a double coat and this had only had a single coat. So to be fair, then we will just go in with another coat and see how that works. We can see just the difference now. I would say still this actually looks a little bit better, and I think that's because it has a double coating. So let's go in and give it a second treatment. So will this stuff come off? Is it washable in the sense that it will stay put, and you can wash it and it's not a problem, it will just keep staying there? So if you go out in the rain, will it be staying there? Well, let's have a look, because on this microfiber cloth here I just have plain water. So let's see what happens. It starts to come off. So it starts to come off just with plain water. So earlier, you can see it down here as well. Earlier today I simply just put water on my hand and then dabbed it on like if I was out in the rain, and it just started to smear all over. Yes, this is something that is relatively easy to remove just with water. So yes, you can see it starts to be this sort of a panda look. So yes, it is washable in the sense that you can wash it easily away with water. So is it something I would say is something that is useful? Well, sort of. If you're not going out to the rain, and if you are not going to cry, then this is obviously something you can use. But if you're going to cry seeing a sad movie or something like that, or if you're going into the rain or into the snow, then it will not work that well. I'm afraid you need to have something that is waterproof. But as such, for what they say, does it curl the eyelashes? Yes, it actually does. But I think it's a good idea to keep the curl, hold it in place just with the edge of the lashes with the wand, and then just let it dry a little bit, and then obviously, as I showed you, give it a second coat. But yes, I think it's a fun thing, but don't use it if you're going to cry and stuff like that. So yes, that was my verdict on this one here. I think it actually does what it says on the tin, but yeah, it doesn't last in rain. So yes, that was my verdict on this one here. So if you'd like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do all the things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.